What's up, Broncos? Welcome back to Four Core Sports, where we dive into the delectable world of WU sports. I am Jack Meneke, the sports editor at Western Herald.
And I'm Joseph Hartzell, the lead sports reporter for Western Herald.
What are we talking about today, Joey?
Today on Four Core Sports, we're talking about Western Michigan women's volleyball and how their season's going so far.
All right, let's dive right into the apps. The Broncos are unfortunately 5-10 overall in the season and 1-3 in the MAC. They went on a 5-game losing streak earlier this season and are currently on a 3-game losing streak in Mid-American Conference play. The last time WU's record fell below 500, not including the first 4 games of each season, was in 2018. Additionally, the 5-game losing streak is the longest losing streak since 2022. So they haven't had that kind of a losing streak in a while. The Broncos did not lose a single game in the MAC last year and went 31-3.
Diving into the main course, we're talking about what changed for the Broncos. Last year, through 15 games, Western Michigan recorded 748 total kills with a .262 hitting percentage and 810 digs. This year, the Broncos have 743 kills with just a .199 hitting percentage and 924 digs. Jack, what do you think this means for the Broncos?
So those numbers, obviously the kills are pretty consistent through these first 15 games for both seasons. So you're like, what's the difference? Well, that hitting percentage is a big factor for the Broncos. I think that they're just not converting on some of these opportunities that they were doing last year. And then you see that dig number. Last year, only 810. This year, 924. So they're having to play a lot more defense. And they have to play catch up a lot more, I think, when they don't convert on those attacks. Last year, the leaders in kills were Maggie King, Kiona Salesman, and Anna Calcagno. This year, it's Kiona Salesman, Mary Claire Brusick, and Julia Marr. The top 3 last year had an average hitting percentage of .257. This year, the top 3 are just at .213, so that hitting percentage is taking a hit on the whole roster.
Obviously, losing Maggie King is a big deal for any squad. Losing your top kill leader, it leaves a lot of holes in your offense, and the lack of production just kind of trickles down a little bit. You've got more of the burden of carrying the offense on some of those players that otherwise weren't used to it, weren't ready for it maybe.
Yeah, and I think in a volleyball scheme, obviously when you're attacking, there's multiple people attacking. So when you're losing someone that was your main hitter, that just puts a lot more pressure on these people, and it's a lot easier for the defenses to read what the Broncos are doing because they don't have that ace in their corner.
Sure, yeah. I mean, having that go-to person where you can set her up and she's consistently scoring on a lot of her attacks. The Broncos also had 91 blocks through 15 games last year, and this year they have just 66. So the defense up front and that really goes along with that real big uptick in digs. Being able to get up there and block some of those early kill attempts will help Western Michigan really start to rack up some points.
Yeah. So moving on to the sides, let's talk about Anna Calcagno and how she's struggled just a little bit this season. We mentioned the kill leaders from last year, and she was in the top 3, obviously. She had 363 kills on a .239 hitting percentage last season. That's for the full year. This year, she's not in the top 3, as she has just 84 kills on a .180 hitting percentage, And when I was talking to Coach Colleen Munson, she said, I think in general, it's not just the particular position that she's playing. It's just all of our pins need to be a little bit more aggressive as we play through the season. So I think what she's getting at there is it's not really her doing anything wrong. It's just there are lack of personnel alongside her that are kind of putting a lot of pressure on her and a lot of pressure on Logan Case too, who has to set these people up. So it's just she's not getting the same looks really that she was getting last year.
Sure, getting that second and third, secondary pieces on offense will really open up things for your main hitters when you get a chance.
Yep. And then also on Calcagno, SID Rob Lowe mentioned that they might not have been using her as much in those non-conference games, so before the MAC, which checks out because she has only played 38 of 55 sets so far this year.
Moving on to desserts, there's still 15 games left in the regular season for the Broncos, and that's plenty of time to turn things around. The Broncos host Ohio on Thursday, and with that automatic bid for the NCAA tournament coming to the MAC champion, anything can happen for Western Michigan, and they've got plenty of time in MAC play against a lesser schedule than what they played in the non-conference to really turn this season around.
Definitely. I think they'll figure some things out here, and I think they will turn it around. But yeah, that concludes it for us. Thank you guys for watching this week's episode of Four Core Sports. I've been Jack Beneke.
And I'm Joseph Hartzell.
Go Broncos.